The tie rack, like any good menswear purchase, is a quality investment, something you buy that you expect a good result out of. So if you already have one, we'll make sure you're using it correctly. And if you don't have one, we'll look at what makes a good tie rack. First of all, if you've got ties on a rack or not, and they're like this, stop what you're doing right now and untie those things, because pre-tied ties, the ones that you keep tied that all you have to do is slip it around your neck and cinch it up, you're ruining the inner linings. There's gonna be permanent kinks that you'll never get rid of. So if it's not too late, go and rescue those ties, please. Also on a tie rack, you don't wanna overcrowd the rack. I have a big collection back here, and I had this happen once where I had all my ties on one rack and the rail broke. If the rail in your closet doesn't break, the tie rack itself will. And all your nice ties are gonna be on the ground, gathering dust bunnies from the floor of your closet. Not a good look. So limit the amount of ties per hook to 3. That way, the load will be more dispersed and your ties will be a lot easier to find too. Speaking of keeping the load dispersed, keep the tie rack balanced. Among all the hooks, make sure it's not sliding to one side. Having a lopsided hook will run the risk of having ties slide off. And again, you don't want to tie with dust bunnies on it. So spread it out. And to avoid those issues altogether, get more than one if you need it. If you're growing a collection, if your collection's already pretty big, the advantage is twofold. 1, you prevent overcrowding. And 2, you can strategically organize your ties, make them easier to find, and if the space affords you, on those racks, you can use it as a belt rack as well. I'm hard pressed for space, and I do that with my belts. So what makes a good tie rack? I've had a lot of experience with this. I've tried many a tie rack, and I got my personal preferences. Look for the following. Try to find one with a swivel hook to allow hanging on either side of your closet. Now, of course, if the hanger hook is fixed, you can always flip it the wrong way and hang it up just fine. But I like the advantage of having a swivel hook. It lets you rotate it if you need to. Of all the different materials, the best one is metal, steel. It's strong, it's durable. It won't break, but your closet rail might. It has the most advantages, but one drawback is that the metal could be a rough finish and it could snag on the threads of your ties. I don't want picks on my ties, so in tandem with a metal construction, look for one with rubber ends, or better yet, wrapped in all rubber. And another dual purpose with the rubber. It won't let your ties slip off, and it'll protect from that rough metal, because there inevitably is a flaw. Plastics are a mixed bag. Some are stronger than others, but inevitably, plastics will never be more durable than a metal one. And as for wood, purchase wood at your own risk. Woods come in all different forms. Some of them are unfinished, and I found that the raw finishes can also pick your ties just as bad, if not worse, as some slight imperfections in metal. So be aware of that. It's like my grandfather used to say, a good necktie is the first step in every man's wardrobe. The second step is a good tie rack. Now, if you want ideas on how to populate that tie rack and strategically organize your ties, you can watch this next. I'll talk to you there. Cannot believe I did that to my ties.